Hello, back again in the Christmas spirit this time, although it doesn't really feel like it after a very strange year. For some reason, maybe it's the Christmas shopping, I don't know, but I seem to have amassed lots of new records recently. So I haven't had much time to listen to a lot of them, so I'm going to talk about those that I have and see what you think. So here's a nice one from Linda Lewis, a great UK soul singer from the 70s, who has many very cheap and cheerful albums which are worth checking out. But one that you might overlook, doesn't appear on any of her albums, is this 7-inch Sideway Shuffle. Very funky little number with nice sort of steel drum sound on it. Really nice. Pleased to pick that one up. Definitely in the funk mould, that one. A new reissue that's come out of a very obscure song by a band called Jelly. The song Everybody Needs Lovin'. Lovely sort of groovy mellow soul. Nicely done in this rather fancy sleeve. Worth checking out, that one. Nice little addition. Now here's one I got because it was going very cheap and I thought, well, why not? I knew it wasn't an album I was going to listen to very much, but it's a nice one in the two-step boogie mold. This is Free Life. I think I did put a sample of one of their songs that I had on a compilation before. The song, and for me the main song on this album, I'll Keep a Light in My Window, is absolutely wonderful. All produced by Philip Bailey of Earth, Wind and Fire, and it very much sounds like an Earth, Wind and Fire album, this one. Some nice boogie, funky, dancey tracks on here, but generally it's more in the two-step mould. What's the other one that's good on here? Spirit of Love, I think, is one that I really like as well. Interesting one, worth checking out, and I was pleased to get that one for a very reasonable price, so lovely. Sticking with the boogie, this is a classic LP by the group Clear, Intimate Connection. Very much of its era, the cover art there. This one very famous for the tracks Intimate Connection and Tonight. I think a lot of vocoder action, serious synthesizer business going on here. I really love this album, full of energy. Yeah, very much of its time, very dancey, very 80s, but worth having. Really pleased to get that one. This was a reissue. Well, no, it wasn't a reissue actually. This is an album that came out a few years ago on Athens in the North, the reissue label, by Rasputin's Stash, the sort of soul funk band from the 70s, originally from Chicago, who had a few albums and a few sort of minor hits with. They were associated with Curtis Mayfield, I think. I think they recorded on Jamingo, I think is the label. But a lot of hard luck stories, and it never really worked out for them. And this was some unreleased recordings, which were put together and released in 2016. Some really good stuff on here. Again, it's the sort of boogie two-step sort of action. It's from about 1976. 77 when this was recorded. I don't know, I can't quite pick it out. It's mid-70s anyway. And there's some nice cover versions, particularly there's a stomping version of Sweet Vibrations on this album, the Latimore track. And there's a couple of nice ones, some sort of nice synthy stuff. They have a stab at Love and Happiness. I'm not really somebody to complain about the quality of pressings and stuff, but this does have a fair bit of surface noise on it, and for a song like Love and Happiness with that very sort of empty introduction, he does notice a bit. But yeah, I'm pleased to pick that one up. Definitely worth having a listen, I think. So yeah, I think that was what I was going to say about that. Another one that I picked up on a reissue on Demon Records, who seem to have re-released all of the Invictus Hollandosia Holland albums and a lot of the Brunswick albums from the 70s. This is Eloise Laws, Ronnie Law's sister, and her album Ain't It Feeling Good. very much a disco album, but the title track, Ain't It Feeling Good, is wonderful little step up. Really love this beautiful sort of mellow soul, that track. The rest of the album is okay. A lot of interesting collaborators, produced by Brian Holland, arranged by Dale Warren, who I was talking about before. I think even one of them's done by Gene Page, actually, as well. But yeah, it's very much sort of stomping disco, most of it. But that title track, Ain't It Good Feeling Good, wonderful. Really, really nice little thing to go with that. So yeah, I raced through those. Just a nice load of 70s soul and funk, basically, and into the 80s a bit as well. I've got a few Latin things that I wanted to show off as well. This is one that I picked up a while ago. It's a bit battered, but it's okay. This is the Harvey Avern Barrio Band. Now, Harvey Avern was pretty famous in Latin music circles, and along with Larry Harlow, it's kind of famous for not being Latin in his origins, but actually Jewish in his origins, but a very accomplished Latin musician. And the Harvey Avern Barrio Band is kind of like a group of lots of great musicians, including Larry Harlow, actually. I think Hector Lavoe's doing some of the choruses and everything, and a few other big names, to make this wonderful, wonderful fusion of everything album from, I think it's 1972 originally. This is a reissue on Acid Jazz from the mid-90s. But it's a stomping album because it's got everything on it. It's got Latin, obviously, and the Latin feel runs throughout it, but it's got lots of rock influences, lots of funk. I think Cucaramaraca, I think is that I'm saying that right, is the big sort of funky jam on here. But Girl from the Mountain is like a nice sort of West Coast sort of rock sound. It's very much of its era, early 70s. Brilliant, brilliant album. I really recommend that. It's one of those albums that if you think you'd like to get into Latin music, but you don't know where to start, or you're a bit put off by, I don't know, the language or this or that, whatever, that you think, oh, I don't quite get it, go somewhere like this. If you like classic rock and if you like funk music and you want to try it with a bit of a Latin twist, this is the place to go. And you can get this, well, the reissue at least you can get for fairly reasonable prices. And yeah, a really fun album. Play it loud, annoy your neighbours. It's great for that. And taking it down, just one more. I was so pleased to find this album, because this album is one of those albums which, it's just spiritual healing. After a crazy year, you just sometimes want music that you can just get lost in. And for me, one artist who always delivers on that front is Joao Donato. And this is Donato y su Trio. This is actually a reissue from 1979, hence the this rather strange cover. The original cover is just the white bit. The original album, I think, was from 1965, 64, 63, something like that. And it's just lovely, lovely. Joao Donato with his piano and just doing what he does, that smooth, sweet Brazilian sound. I don't know, just everything about Joao Donato's records. It's got everything, because he's got the jazziness and the Brazilianness, definitely, but there's a certain subtle funkiness and melody to everything that he does. It's such a pleasure to listen to. And this is just the absolute perfect music to sort of disconnect and unwind and forget about the crazy world we live in sometimes. I do have another, this is a reissue from quite recently, from the same Donato trio that I think was a bit earlier. This one's okay. It's a bit more downbeat than this one, but this one is just lovely. I really cannot recommend this highly enough. It has been reissued as well, quite nicely and quite affordably. This was an old reissue, but sounds fine to me. But yeah, lovely. Really pleased to get all of that. So just counting down to Christmas now. See what Santa brings. Hope everybody has a very nice festive season. even for the strange year that it's been. I'm sure I'll probably end up making another video at some point when you're on holiday. That's kind of what you feel like doing. But happy Christmas to everyone, all the same. All the best. Enjoy yourselves. Love one another. And until next time.